Hello and welcome to I Love Romance Novels Online. This is our live weekly webcast. We'd like to welcome our host, AJ Harmon. AJ, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here this evening. I first met Stephanie, I met her online a little while ago, about a year ago probably, and I was very excited when I got the official invite to her signing. Stephanie's Book Reports does a signing called Authors in the City, and I was so excited to get that official invitation in my email as an attending author at Authors in the City. And so I went this year to Myrtle Beach and got to meet Stephanie in person. She is adorable. And Stephanie, welcome to our broadcast this evening.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, all of us.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit how Authors in the City started, your book signing event.
Well, the three of us that plan Authors in the City were on a street team for an author 2 years ago, and she said, I want to have a signing in New York City. We said, okay. So it basically ended up the three of us planning the event and putting it together and inviting everyone. And then from New York, we decided, why not still continue to do it? And so we are planning currently our third, which will take place in March 2016 in Kissimmee, Florida.
Very exciting, and I'm very grateful to be included in the signing in March. And so that kind of brings us to the signing and Christmas in the City and the authors that are going to be participating in that. So tell us a little bit about how Christmas in the City came to be. And then if you would like to introduce the authors that are with us tonight, all of us are participating in your anthology. So let's kind of hear that story and grab your Kleenexes.
Yes, exactly. I have mine right here beside me. I thought I was going to start before. So anyway, I'll bite the chest of my cheek or something. And so maybe I won't start the waterworks first up, 2 minutes into the webinar. Well, Christmas in the City became an idea. Lori and Donna had actually, who helped plan Authors in the City, had actually been pushing me for a while to do something as an anthology, either through Stephanie's Book Reports or Authors in the City. And then you will meet in a second author Shari J. Ryan, and she said, you know what would be really cool is if we did an anthology with Authors in the City, and we could do it for charity. And I was like, okay, this must be a sign, okay. So I threw it out there to everybody in our group for the March signing and said, who would be interested in doing an anthology, writing news stories, X amount of, whatever. And, we wanted news stories. So who would be interested in doing that? We had several to take us up on it. There were a few that didn't make the timeline, whatever reason. So we have 14 news stories with 15 authors. One story is co-written. And so I will introduce you to these ladies. We have our headlining author, as I like to call her, Samantha Chase. She is our New York Times and USA Today bestseller. And then AJ, of course, y'all know AJ. She is our USA Today. And then we have Taryn Plendl, or Plendl, I don't know. It just depends on who you're talking to, how people say it. Taryn. And then Shari. Somewhere in this lineup is Shari.
I'm here. Hi.
And then we have also with us is Ellie Keys, and there she is, and Misha Elliott. or Misha.
So.
I never say it right either. She's always correcting me. Whatever. And just, do you want me to tell you about the charity?
Yeah,
AJ?
please.
Okay. Yep. We're not really supposed to tell you what the charity is, but I will say that is a children's hospital in the Orlando area, which is where our signing is going to be held. This particular charity is it's if I tell you too much, you're going to know what it is. Well, so it helps with children that have life-threatening diseases, disorders, stuff that happens to them, or are born with these conditions. So it can be anywhere from cleft hands, feet, mouths, cancer, children's cancers, heart defects, anything that affects children from birth through 18 years of age that you would be serviced through a children's hospital. And the medical care for these children is fairly expensive, and the equipment is just atrocious. Like, the cost for these things is just absolutely ridiculous. And so this charity, I have been involved with this charity since college, and it's very meaningful to me just to see these kids and how much they suffer, or you feel like they suffer, but they still have, a lot of them still have smiling faces, and they're still willing to give you hugs and try to brighten your day, whereas you know that some of these kids, they have to be in tremendous amount of pain. A friend of mine's son is 7. He's just a few months younger than my oldest child, and he just had his 38th open heart surgery.
Wow.
And so, yeah, he goes to one of these hospitals, not the Orlando one, but one here where I live in South Carolina. He is treated by one of the hospitals that are in this mixed in with the charity that we will be donating the proceeds of the book to.
That's amazing, and such a worthwhile cause. I mean, who doesn't want to help get behind a children's charity to help sick kids? I mean, for me, when it came up in the group, I mean, I'm sure that I speak for all of us. We just went, sure, I'll do it. You know, it was just kind of a why wouldn't you want to, you know, be a part of that? So I completely agree with you there that it's a fabulous charity to be a part of, and I think we probably all know somebody who's been affected, you know, either ourselves or family members or friends that have needed care, medical care, and have not been able to afford it. And so this is a great way that we can give back to the community, whether it's in Orlando or New York or Los Angeles. It doesn't really matter as long as we're doing it somewhere. So Samantha, let's start with you, our fabulous headliner. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your story that's in the Christmas in the City anthology?
All right. You know, the cool thing is that I really wanted to write a holiday story that was based around New Year's, not so much Christmas. And so Waiting for Midnight sort of starts out as a New Year's story, but turned into a Christmas story. And just about a reluctant hero, which aren't they all, and we love them, and just the neighbor who has been crushing on him forever, and they make that all happen over the Christmas holiday. So.
Oh, so, you know, how can you go wrong with the holidays and happily ever after? I mean, they just,
they mesh so well.
Yeah, they do. They mesh very well. Shari, why don't you tell us about your story in the anthology?
Sure. Well, since I'm kind of used to writing romantic suspense, I had to put a little bit of suspense in there. But it's about a girl, a college-age girl, who lost her family in an accident and because of that, she can't go home anymore. She doesn't have a home anymore, and she decides to stay up in college during the winter break when the dorms are closed, the university's closed, and she's up in school in New Hampshire, and she's originally from Florida, so the blizzard world is kind of not her scene, and there's a huge blizzard that hits them while she's on vacation, while there's a school vacation, and she's alone. The town's pretty much empty, and there's a hero who happens to work down the street from her, and they meet in unlikely circumstances, and, then there's a happily ever after.
Yay! Thank you. That sounds fun. A little bit of suspense in there, some heavy petting maybe. Works out well. Taryn, how about you? Let's hear your story.
Well, my story's called Coming Home, and it's about a woman who is, she's, in her 20s, she's a nurse, and she had moved away from Iowa to for the wrong reasons, for a guy. And so everything has changed, and she's just picked everything up and decided to come back to her home and start over, over the holidays. And her home life hasn't always been the best, and she's really just trying to figure things out. And of course, a man comes in that really wants more from her, and she's not sure she's able to give that. But it's really about her finding someone that she can trust, a man in her life that she can trust, and it's about their relationship developing over the holiday season. So.
Oh, awesome! That sounds great. Misha, how about you?
Hello. The name of my story is All I Want for Christmas, and it's a second chance at romance. It's about a young girl who, well, not young girl, she's in her 20s, who has always crushed on her brother's best friend. And due to circumstances at this Christmas holiday, she has an opportunity to be alone on an island, well, not alone on an island, on vacation on an island with him, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, you're not going to give away the ending.
Nope. I'm going to make you read it.
Oh, okay. I've already got mine on pre-order, so I will be reading that. Ellie, how about you? Let's hear your story for the anthology.
My story is a holiday discovery, and it's about a young woman. She's in her 20s, and she's found out that her parents are divorcing. Her brother and sister don't want to have anything to do with the family dinner, and so she needs to decide what she's going to do for Christmas. And she goes with her friend to the Swiss Alps, and that's when the adventure starts. She meets this great guy, and she has no clue who this guy is. Everybody else kind of knows what's going on, and she doesn't. And so much happens in between. There's a lot of heat moments in such a short little story, and the end actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. So I love those stories.
Yay, these sound great. Well, I'll give you my tiny little synopsis of my story. Mine is about a young girl named Lisa. She's 14 years old, and she's adopted. And one day in her first day of history class as a freshman in high school, she's asked to write a story or write a report about where she comes from, who her parents are, and so that kind of gets her questioning about who are her biological parents. And so she gets permission from her parents, and she tracks down her biological parents, who were high school sweethearts who got pregnant and put the baby up for adoption, and they haven't seen each other since high school graduation. And so Lisa decides to have a party and invite both of her parents to the party, who haven't seen each other in 12 years. So there's a little bit of matchmaking going on there, and I had fun writing the story. It was nice to have first of all, a really hard deadline, because I don't do well on deadlines. So a hard deadline from Stephanie was excellent.
Yes.
Also, having to write about Christmas. I mean, that's, for me, it's one of my favorite holidays of the year, so it was really fun to do that. So, Stephanie, why don't you tell us a little bit about It's up on pre-order right now. Why don't you tell us about release dates and prices and all that kind of stuff, where people can go to get their copy of the book, either in digital download and, of course, the fabulous paperback that will be coming.
Yes. Well, currently we are live across every Amazon platform. So any country that you are in that has Amazon link, that you can buy from Amazon, we are there. So if you search in the search bar for Christmas in the City, Samantha Chase, or Ashlee's who I'm looking at on my screen right now, the Samantha Chase or AJ Harmon, you can look up any of the authors that are involved in the anthology, and it should pop up. Also, because we're also on Barnes & Noble, iTunes, and Kobo currently live, and there's a German site that's called Tolino that we are also on. So if you are in Deutschland, you can get the book. It's not translated to German though, but you can read it in English. The print, I should have the print formatted book in my email tonight. I am keeping my fingers crossed. So hopefully that will be available next week. But if not, for sure, the print book will be available ASAP as soon as I can grab the file from the formatter. It's a rather large file.
Just a little, maybe.
The book will be this big. Something
no,
great.
Really?
Well, it's kind of funny. I can't wait to see what it really is page-wise, because if you look on Amazon says our page length is like 800 and something. And then if you look on iTunes, our page length is over 1,000 pages. So I'm like, ooh, which is which? So we'll figure out what CreateSpace has to say about it once I get the file from J.M. Walker and we load it up. So hopefully it'll be somewhere around there. Currently it is 99 cents across the board, so you can pre-order the link from any of those platforms at 99 cents. And it will remain 99 cents for a little while, and then we will probably move it up. And the print book, because it is so large, we're guesstimating the print price being $25. Now, I mean, obviously, it's anywhere from 800, almost 900 pages to 1,000 pages, so it's going to be expensive to print and ship. We will have copies of the book with us in March, so you can have it signed by all of these lovely ladies plus the others who are we didn't have enough space for 15 people here this evening, so you get 6, and then you'll have the others that will be joining us in March, so you can get the print. And of course, all of the proceeds for this will be going to that charity. And actually, the check presentation will take place at Authors in the City in March. We will do a presentation to the staff of the charity. So they're coming to collect. We just can't tell you who's coming to collect, but they're coming to collect, which is the funniest thing. We can tell you in March who it's going to be. A big surprise. It'll be an unveiling, it's like a cover reveal. Woohoo! It's a charity reveal right at the signing. So, if you are joining us in March at Authors in the City, the all-day tickets, of course, I guess we'll talk about, I'll just throw this out here. Now you can join us. The all-day tickets is what you will need to purchase in order to see who, what, when, where, why, and how this is going to, because it will be presented between dinner and the start of the after party.
Okay, that sounds great. So does anybody have anything that they want to, shout out? Have any of you lovely ladies got a release coming up here in the next couple of weeks, or anything exciting happening?
I actually have another Christmas novella coming out the day after the Christmas in the City.
Oh, yay!
Oh, big holiday week for Samantha Chase.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
I have a release coming out too on November 12th. It's called Revel, and it's a military romance.
Yay! That's a romantic suspense. Is that also?
There's actually not a lot of suspense in that one. It's my first one that doesn't have suspense in it, so it's just, I don't want to call it contemporary because there's domestic abuse in there, but it's more of a military romance. Okay. It's a hard one to fit into a genre.
Awesome. That sounds great. Anybody else?
I have one coming November 22nd. It's Linnea as part of my Norton Sisters series.
Oh,
it's
which
number 5?
Number 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
Romance with a little heat.
With a little heat? Okay.
With a little heat.
Yeah. I have my box set coming out on November 17th. My 5 erotic novellas are being put into a box set coming out on November 17th. Ellie, I would have to say mine have a little bit more than a little heat. So mine are quite spicy. So not for the faint of heart, and not for anybody under 21. So, you know, we'll maybe 18. We'll see. But, yeah. So it sounds like we're all super busy.
Of course.
Hey,
Yes.
we have several people lighting up the chat box saying hello, and they love each other, all you guys, and that they think you're amazing, and they think what you're doing with the anthology for the charity is amazing. You want to go ahead and open it up for question and answers from some of the fans that are watching. If you're viewing this right now and you have something that you're dying to know about one of the authors in Christmas in the City, go ahead and type your question into the chat box, and I'll read it to these lovely ladies, and we'll see if we can air their answers. So go ahead and continue chatting while we wait for them to type some stuff in.
Okay, then. Let's see. So let's talk about authors in the city. Stephanie, why don't you give the dates for Authors in the City? We are coming to Florida in March.
Yes, it's in Kissimmee, Florida. It's right like 2 miles from Disney World. So Orlando area. The actual address is Kissimmee, Florida. So I figured if I didn't say the signing was in Kissimmee, people would yell at me. You said it was Orlando. It's not Orlando. It's Kissimmee. You know, somebody would say that. Anyway, the date for the signing is March 12th. It is from noon until 10 p.m. Well, the authors won't be signing them.
She's really cracking that whip this year.
Yes. Well, we with the signing is from 12 to 4, and then the dinner portion is from 6 to 8, and 8 to 10 is the Gatsby themed after party. So you can get your roaring 20s on. And so practice up on your swing dancing, your big band music, so that you're familiar. It's not going to be any whip-a-nay-nay, no wobbles, no any of that stuff. You're going to have to, no electric slide, no macarenas, none of that stuff. You'll definitely have to know how to swing dance, or at least do something with some roaring 20s music. And feel free to dress the part. Halloween is coming up, so if you want to scour the shelves for discount Halloween 20s outfits, now's the season to do so. And so that will be from 8 to 10. I'm really looking forward to this after party because it'll be I dressed up in Myrtle Beach. We had an 80s theme after party this year, but I sort of dressed up. But I'm really looking forward to the Gatsby themed after party because I just love those dresses. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful. I can't imagine, how much they must have cost at that point in time. I mean, the 20s was anyway. But I just love all that beading. Anyway, it's just really cool. I
Beading
think
and frills and pearls and
yes.
yeah, that sounds
stuff to shake around. You know, I mean, anyway.
And it's at the Gaylord Palms, correct?
Yes, the Gaylord Palms Resort and Convention Center is a beautiful hotel, so y'all should come and stay with us there. I swear, I've been staring at that hotel for years and years and years and years and years, and Samantha Chase could probably second this because this woman is probably in Disney more than anybody else I know, and she could probably tell you, well, even one of our authors that's signing with us, her office, is in the backs up to the Gaylord, and she's like, I just love looking at this property. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the inside of the hotel is phenomenal. It has an atrium in the middle of the hotel, so you have like this forest, almost this jungle feeling when you're in there. It has some little baby turtles and some alligators that you can't get to the alligators. They're little. Yeah, once they get to Sherry's like, oh gosh. Well, no, you can't. Once they move them once they get 4 feet long, so you can't, But it's really, really cool. They have lots of shopping and restaurants. You don't even have to leave this hotel. It's phenomenal. But like I said, it's 2 miles from Disney, and who doesn't want to go to Disney World in March because it's warm? Mm-hmm. For people like Taryn and Shari and AJ, who live in places that get relatively cold and see some white precipitation.
That's a 4-letter word.
Yes, it is 4-letter word. I don't like saying it because I don't want to jinx myself. We here at the beach don't want any of that stuff. So
that's why I'm down south. I don't like that other stuff.
That's exactly right. Y'all can keep it up there. Still tell Shari I'll keep it.
I don't like it either. I don't want it.
I don't like it either.
Just stop here.
Yes, I don't want to do that white precipitation stuff. So just keep it. But that's why everybody wants to go to Florida, because you can thaw out. And we have a phenomenal list of authors this year. Phenomenal. I'm so excited. There's just, a great list of authors, and I can't wait to see. We have a few more invitations that are out, so I'm waiting to see who else will join our list. But it's definitely just already, the list is just, I just don't know what to say about it other than it's phenomenal, because it really is. It's an amazing list of authors, and you can check that out at authorsinthecity.com. They have all their author bios on there, listed by author, and you can buy your tickets there, and you can actually get to the buy links of Christmas in the City on the authorsinthecity.com website. Each of the authors has their own individual page, and so if you want to go there, you can learn about all their bios are there, and their links to their websites and pages and stuff are all included on Authors in the City as well.
Awesome. Okay, Brad, do we have any questions?
We do have a comment. I want to thank Stephanie for telling people about that. Now, if you're viewing this live, on the right-hand side of your screen, there is a link right now that will take you to the Authors in the City page where you can learn more about that event. Or if you're watching this recorded, you'll be able to find the link below in the description. Now, we have a comment from Donna. She says she loves all you ladies, and she's honored to be part of the Authors in the City group and part of the anthology. And she's wondering if you guys would ride the Authors in the City anthology train again if you had the chance.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. Because
Definitely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So
Okay, so we've got 6 yeses right here. So, I think we're ready for 2017.
I don't think
Sounds like
Stephanie's
it's-
ready for 2017.
That's a deadline now.
Right. The biggest question would be, is Shari ready for 2017? Because she is the one that formatted the crazy ebook, and she's just like, I'm done.
Just need a little break. Just a little break.
Yeah, so should give her a year. She'll be ready to go again.
We'll give her a year off, okay? And then another question is, how many authors are planning to attend Authors in the City in March? Do you have a number yet, or?
We have 74 currently.
Wow.
74, that's a big event.
Yes. We have about 20 shared tables included in that 74, but the majority, so that's, 54 tables that are solo and 20 shared tables. So,
how are you saying?
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of people, but so we just we have a lot of great authors for readers to come see and meet, and we even have a couple of authors that don't do a lot of signings. So I know one of them in particular is only doing authors in the city in 2016. So you gotta, if you want to see her, you gotta come to the signing.
So basically, there's going to be an author there for anybody who shows up. They'll be able to find something there that they are just going to be overjoyed with.
Yes, they are all. Everybody on our list is romance authors. We do have one male romance author that's coming. He's sharing a table with his wife. Then everybody else. Are all there. Everybody is a romance author in some form or fashion. We do have a couple of them that write young adult all the way. You know, we have a huge range: young adult, middle grade, young adult, all the way up to erotica. So there's paranormal in there. There's BDSM. There is. We have an array. We have a rainbow of authors. It's a vastly different list of people. The majority do write contemporary romance, though, and even one of our authors, she even has a children's book, so she'll probably have that there. So if you have young kids, she and her daughter, who is 7 or 8, wrote a children's story together, so she'll have that with her. I'm sure she's been bringing it to the last couple of sightings. So if you have little kids, then that one is a good story to also add to your list.
That sounds great. Now we have a comment here. It says Stephanie is a superwoman. She always holds an awesome event. So thank you for that. I'd like to ask the authors why you're so excited about being part of Authors in the City and being part of the anthology. Go ahead and take a second and tell us why you're excited about it. And then we need to wrap up because our 30 minutes is clicking by quick. Go ahead. Why are you excited about attending Authors in the City?
For me,
Samantha, let's start with Samantha.
All right. Authors in the City was the first signing that I ever did. Stephanie reached out to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody really wants me to go someplace and sign. So Authors in the City will always have a special place in my heart, and anything that she wants to do, I'm going to be there to support it.
Yay. Ellie, why don't you go next?
Well, I got to see the pictures from Authors in the City, New York, and I was so jealous. I found out how to get in touch with the crew, and I told her anytime she does anything, I'm there. And she has this little saying that she says where she popped my cherry. So she's my first, and she will always have my support no matter what she does.
Yay. Misha, how about you?
I came in the tail end of Authors in the City this year, and I was excited when Stephanie invited me to come back next year. I love working with her so much that she's actually the book manager now for me for the publisher I'm with at Book Trope.
Oh, fabulous.
So we're going to be connected to the hip forever.
Shari, how about you?
Well, I've done a few small signings, but this will be my first big signing, and I'm so glad it's with Stephanie, because I've also been working with Stephanie, too, for the past several months, and she's awesome, and I'm really, really excited to meet everybody and to see what this big signing's all about.
Yay. Taryn?
Well, this will be my my third author in the city. I started with her in New York, and then last year in Myrtle Beach, and I'm looking forward to this one. This is, I did 8 signings this past year. Next year I'm really scaling it back and only doing 3. but this is one of my go-to ones. This is one that, without a doubt, that I just automatically know I'll be traveling for. So it's an incredible event. It's so well organized. The readers are awesome. The authors are, fabulous. It's one of my favorites. So it's one I'd come back for no matter where she goes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, Stephanie has just been an exceptional woman to work with, and her signings are destination events. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Myrtle Beach? Who doesn't want to go to New York? I mean, I wanted to go to New York but didn't know about it. So, next time we go to New York, Stephanie, I need that email. So,
Okay.
but, Orlando, they're just fabulous opportunities to to go and not only have a fabulous signing, but get to see parts of the country too. So, I love it. Coming from Oregon, it's like traveling to the East Coast all the time, but hey, frequent flyer miles, baby.
Mhm.
So I'm in, absolutely in. Well, I think our time has wrapped up here. We are at 35 minutes, and we said 30, so we've done very well. I just wanted to say that I appreciate you all taking the time out of your evening to join us tonight. A special thank you to our authors in the city, authors who have contributed to the anthology Christmas in the City. It's going to be one of those books that you have on your Kindle that you're just going to reread over and over and over again. Especially every Christmas. We watch the same movies, It's a Wonderful Life, and all of the Christmas movies. This is going to be one of those books that we pull out at the beginning of the holiday season and sit down and read out 14 stories to get us in the Christmas spirit. And I want to thank you for joining us this evening. Be sure to check out Amazon and pre-order that book. It goes live on November 2nd, and so you guys need to get your pre-orders in and grab it at 99 cents while it's still less than $1. And don't miss out on that, and know that your 99 cents are going to a very worthwhile charity. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all for joining us on I Love Romance Novels Online. I hope that we'll see you again on another webcast.